this isn't sponsored or anything. The devs just kindly sent me a key to try out the game and see what I think. I'm very excited. It looks very cute. And the Steam description is short and sweet. It says, craft delicious lunchboxes in this cozy yet challenging ingredient cutting puzzle game. We are going to be putting together bento boxes, which are like lunchboxes originating in Japan. We are gonna get straight into it though, with a bit of a tutorial. I have two rectangles here of rice, and I can pick them up and drag them around, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I need to place them neatly inside this little box. Perfect, perfect. We have completed our recipe of rice in a box. Let's continue. The art style is super cute and cozy. Plus, you can click on these items around the screen to shuffle them around a bit. It's just a little touch, but I think it adds so much polish and shows how much care was put into the game. Anyway, back to the task at hand. We have a few more blocks of rice to fit now. I don't know if I can rotate these, but I trust that if I can, I will be told during the course of this tutorial. Well, we've got a lot to fit in now. These blocks are, they're in funny shapes, a bit like Tetris blocks, which makes it slightly more difficult to fit them together. But so far, it's been pretty straightforward. Okay, we have a new instruction now. We can cut these bento blocks with right click. I can see a little mark on the board, on the chopping board, where I can line up my bento block and cut it. Let's do it like this. Slice. And now we can fit it in the box. Perfect. We only had one cut to make on that level, but I'm guessing later on down the line we might get a few more. Okay, we have like a mountain shaped block to simplify it quite a bit. Oops. And our bento box is like this mountain shape, but it's been rotated by 90 degrees. That suggests to me that we can't rotate this rice block for some reason, or else this puzzle would be very, very easy. I'm gonna slice it. Oh, give myself some room. I'm gonna slice the left slope off of this mountain so I can fit it inside of this bento box. Nice. Ah, here we go. We have 2 slices to make now. And our rice is in the shape of like a claw, like a robot's hand or a spaceship. We can just make 2 slices, one at the top and one at the bottom, to get 3 blocks of rectangular shaped rice that fit quite neatly inside our bento box. Let's continue. This one's interesting. Our rice is in the shape of, I'm gonna say a ring, but it is square. And we need to fit it in a long rectangular box. We have 2 cuts to make, and I think if we did something like this to make 2 L shapes, there we go. They slot together nicely there. Perfect. Perfect. Next up, wow, we have a pretty complicated shape now. I don't think I can describe it in a whimsical way. It actually, scratch that, it looks like a crocodile with a noodle in its mouth. Let me know if you can see it too. Anyway, we have 2 cuts, and we need to fit it in this normal rectangular shape. Okay. I do want to see if I place it somewhere. Oh, okay. This makes things slightly easier. Never mind. We can pick up our cut marker. It was towards the bottom of our chopping board, and I couldn't get the rice block down very far, so I thought that we didn't have much option. But I can drag this cut marker. I do want to see. It looks like it's only 1 wide, but if I put it in the middle, okay. It does indeed only make a cut that is 1 wide. It doesn't go all the way across our rice block. Okay, we have 2 cuts to make, and they both have to be 1 wide and horizontal. No, that won't work. What if we do one like this? We're gonna have to fit it. The box is 3 tall and 4 wide, so we're gonna have to cut off some of these points. I could do this one, but without being able to rotate our block, this cut won't work. Let me just press R to reset, and we'll try that again. We just took 1 off the bottom, then we need to do 2 off the top. That's not gonna work either. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That doesn't fit. We're gonna reset that. I feel like I'm missing a trick here. There must be some easy way of doing it, considering we only have 2 cuts to make. Oh, you know what? I see it now. I was almost there with the first attempt. We just need to cut the car's mouth. And then cut the noodle in half to get 2 small squares. Nice. Let's continue. Now we just have a long stick. We have one long stick, and we need to fit it in this corner-shaped box. I'm thinking we just cut the stick into lengths of 3 and 2 to line them up next to each other in the box. Perfect. Oh, okay. Now our cut has been increased to 2 wide, and we have 2 small sticks and a horizontally rectangular box to fit it in. We could go like that, just to cut off the tips of both of the sticks to fit it in neatly. Nice. Okay, let's see. We have a very long cut now. It's 3 wide, and we have 2 different shapes of rice to fit in. So if we did something like that, that wouldn't work. What if we cut off the bottom of this sideways mountain and the bottom of this big rectangle? I think we could, yeah, perfect. Fit it in nicely after that. Great. We have another long stick, except this time we only have 2 cuts, and our box is, it isn't as tall, so we won't be able to split it up into 3, 3, and 2 like last time. We're gonna have to do 4 columns of 2. So I think we need to cut our long stick of rice in half, and then cut them both into half again. Thankfully our cut was 2 wide this time, so we could do that. Nice. Oh, okay. How interesting. Now we have a block of rice that is too big for the box. There's no way we could fit this rice inside of this box. We have too much rice. Or alternatively, not enough box. We can cut the bottom off of the rice to fill up the box, but we're gonna have rice left over. Okay. Oops. It doesn't seem to mind if we have leftover rice. We just need to fill up the box. Got it. Okay, right. So now we're gonna have some puzzles where not all of the shapes are needed. We don't have any cuts on this one, so I just need to place the shapes in, leaving one long stick of rice out. Calling it a stick of rice feels wrong, but it's shorthand for some cooked rice that has been formed into the shape of a stick. Okay, we have 2 cuts now, and again we have more rice than we have space, so we can pretty simply cut off the two bits on either side to fit the central rectangle in the box. Nice. Now we have loads of rice. I have 3 cuts to make to try and get a 2x3 rectangle of rice. Is that 3? that's only 2 in length. Our cut is vertical, so I could cut that off. But then we somehow need to cut off a bit that is horizontal. So we're gonna have to revisit this. Oh, you know what? I think I have been thinking about this one wrong. We don't need one kind of continuous block. We can slice off 2 different sticks. There we go. I was thinking about how we could get one perfect combined block, but we could do it more simply. Right, what have we got here? So we only have one small vertical cut to make. We could... this L shape is taller than it is wide, or else that would have been easy. There's no way we can use this L shape then, because we can't cut off the height. We're gonna have to do it like this instead, and just slice off the end of it. There we go. There we go. Okay, we have another ring and a long wide bit. This one's pretty straightforward though. Just fit that square in the middle. Perfect. Another ring, but not quite as straightforward this time. The box isn't wide enough to fit the ring in. So we're gonna have to cut it down to size somehow. We have 2 cuts to make. So I'm thinking we can combine it with this long stick to maybe try and slice it down like this. Yeah, here we go. Use some of those cuttings to fit in. Perfect. When we finish a level, there's a little shrimp. A winking shrimp. With the word perfect next to it. Which I appreciate. Okay, what have we got here? So we have 1 cut to make. And we have and it's horizontal as well. I think we can do it just like this. Boop, boop, boop. Perfect. There it is, the little winking shrimp. Perfect. Okay, what have we got now? We've got 3 cuts to make. And each of them is vertical and 1 high. So we could fit that like that. It's gonna be vertical, so we could do that. Cut the... Okay, I think I see what we could do. We could use 2 cuts to slice this square in half to fit it like this. Maybe not. What if we cut one of these off? And then we'll just cut this end bit off of the L. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Up next, wow, we have a really long cut. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 wide. And we have a lot of rice to fit in. So we could do it like that. This is horizontal as well. We only have 1 cut. of rice together. So if we fit that down there, we could put a 2 next to it. We can't cut both of those though. We could cut this large block and maybe a bit of this R-shaped one. But I don't know if it's gonna look like this. What's that gonna be like? We'll need a 2 for that to work. Okay, could we do it like... I want to cut that off, and then... Okay, I've got it, I think. If we do it like this... Slice. Oh, not quite. Not quite, we need 1. We're 1 short. Can I rearrange? No. No, if I do a slice like that, we're almost there, but we need 1 extra bit. Okay, let's rethink. So we could fit that long block in, and then we need 2 and 2. We could get one of them from this, but there's no way for us to get the other block of rice that is 2 wide and 1 tall. So we will have to rethink. If I cut this tip off of this larger block, we could slide that over. And then we could have a 3 sat there. We'd have, what would we have? We'd have another 2. That, I don't think that's it either. We could set that over there. We could put the 3 in, but then we don't have 2 wide. Okay. Okay, what if we did an L shape like that? But that would have to be too short. We could put that down there. We could have a long L like this. And then we need a 3 wide line. Like this. Ah, there we go. There we go. That one was a little trickier, but I enjoyed it. Let's continue. Oh, now we have an interesting block of rice here. It's almost one big square, but there has been a cut already made. But not all the way through. And we have a lid or box to fix it in. I could just slice off this corner. There we go. That one was quite straightforward. Okay, next up. 2 cuts to make, and we have a very interesting shaped box here. And a piece of rice that doesn't look like it's gonna fit in. Our cuts can be quite long though. So we need to get... We could get one of these main bits. Then we need a 2 and a 2. We could get a 2 like that. But then where do we get the other 2 from? I'm gonna cut it like this, and then we will consider... Oh, unless this is 1 shorter, and we get a long... No, that won't work. Let's reset. We could do it if we had a 4, if we had a stick of 4, 1 of 2, and then 1 of 4. I don't know how easy that is going to be to get. We could get a continuous 1 of 4. Oh, okay, hang on, what if we just... No, we could make 2 cuts. I was thinking we could just like cut out the bit that we don't need. But that's not gonna work, is it? Because we only have 2 cuts to make. Do a quick reset. If we cut off the bottom bit, 1, be right. No. No, of course not, although I did make an interesting shape in this rice. Let's reset that one. So we could get a square. Oh, we could fit that in like that if we cut off the top bit. Here. Ah, there we go, I see. And then we cut off that bit, and now we can fit it in like that. Perfect. Perfect. A trickier one. Let's continue. We have like a set of stairs upside down to fit our rice into, and our rice is in the shape of like the end of a pitchfork. We have two cuts to make. They are one tall and vertical. So let's see. Two cuts to make. I feel like it will make sense to try and keep this top corner. To keep the top corner. And then cut off like that. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Keeping the shape mostly intact. Nice, let's go on. This is funny. Our rice is like in the shape of a maze. We only have two small cuts to make and we need to fit it in this big box here. So we need to get, I'm just holding the shape over this box to see if anything jumps out at me. Need to make two sideways cuts. Just two of them. We could do that, but then we're not going to be able to fit the rice in that's left over. I'm just dragging around. What other cuts can we make? Put it like that. That's not going to work. We need three cuts for that. They are horizontal, of course. Horizontal cuts, just one wide. So it must be pretty straightforward, actually. We could. We need to come around the corner there. I'm not visualizing it very well, so I'm gonna do some test cuts to see what things look like. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this, where we do two kind of odd-shaped cuts. Is gonna work with this weird maze shape, but we need to make sure that we cut it down so that none of the pieces are more than 3 high. So we could do, I think this is exactly the same as I did last time. We'll go again. Could be more than 3 high. That wouldn't work because that would be too high. That's what I've done last time. What if we did that? And then that. There we go. Nice. Nice. That was a fun one. I also got an achievement for chopping 50 times. It's just flying by. Okay, now we have a funny shaped box here. We have one vertical cut to make that is too high. And we are actually almost there anyway. I just need like 2 small blocks, but we can't quite fit it together for that to work here. So we're gonna have to rethink that. This feels like a somewhat sensible cut, but we need to make sure that we have a piece that can fit in this top right square. It's going to be relatively difficult to do with these pieces we have, unless we have one. Ah, there we go. There we go. Perfect, perfect. And I got an achievement that says, achieve a perfect score on the first chapter. So here we are. Here's all of the puzzles that we did for the first chapter here. We got 81 stars. And we have a nice kind of menu screen. Oh, what a cute cat. Hi, hi. Oh. I was petting the cat a little bit, but I don't think they liked it. There's a little shrimp in this book that says welcome. Thank you, shrimp. Okay, so we can turn on to chapter 2. You've collected over 30 coins. Course 2 is called the Pantry. And it looks like it's going to add a mechanic to complicate things. Oh, this board looks cool. Oh, there's some octopus tentacles here that seem to be pretty alive. And a few bits of fish ready to make some sushi. Okay, so this time it looks like we need to fit our blocks of rice in the box, as well as making sure that a particular ingredient is in the right place. So in this one we have some it looks like fish eggs, some roe, but I don't know what kind. I'm not an expert on fish eggs. Anyway, so in order to fit those fish eggs in the right place, we're gonna have to slice this block vertically and swap the two sticks over. There we go. Now what do we have? I don't know what this ingredient is. It looks like maybe a kind of root that's been chopped up. A slice of some kind of root. We need to fit it in like... That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That needs to go in the bottom right, so a cut like this makes sense. There we go. And then we'll just slice the other bit. Perfect. Perfect. Let's continue. Okay. I'm having fun trying to identify these ingredients. This one looks like either a petal. It looks like a flower-shaped object, or a strawberry that's in the shape of a flower. I don't know about this one. Anyway, we need to cut it into two slices. Like that, yeah. I think this should work. And then we'll cut there. Perfect. There we go. I wonder if it tells me anywhere what the ingredients are. Oh, the kitty's lying on its back now. I just clicked on the recipe tab on this book, but it brings me to like a menu. Now we have it looks like an orange slice, but unless Unless this rice is very, very big, it must be a very small orange. Some other citrus fruit, maybe. Let's see what we're doing here. So we need to cut like this. We need to get all three of these rice squares with a citrus slice on them. We need to get them into single squares to fit in this box, and we have 2 cuts to do it. So I'm thinking like this. There we go. Perfect. Couple slices, and that's that. Oh, we have. Now, at first glance, these look like little octopi or squids. I'm gonna ignore the fact that their eyes are changing. I think that's stylistic and not an accurate representation of the ingredient. But I think they're actually little hot dogs. The little hot dogs that have been sliced do look like an octopus. Very cute. Anyway, we need to fit them in with 2 slices. And we're going to get like a diagonal line of these cute little hot dogs. We only have 2 horizontal slices to make though. 2 vertical slices rather. So we could do like one like that to fit this octopus in the top right. And then there we go. And then we'll just cut off the leftover rice to get our nice diagonal line there. What have we got next? Oh, it looks like a pile of little green leaves. Maybe seaweed. Maybe it's seaweed on top. That sounds unusual to me, but I'm not sure what else it could be. Right, we are going to get all of those green bundles on the bottom row of this square in the box. And we have 3 cuts to do it in. So I'm thinking these 2 in the top right should be pretty easy because we could just cut them like that. We could just cut them in half and then they would be at the bottom. But these 2 down here are going to be more tricky because we're going to have to. That's not going to work because now they're too high up, and we only have 1 more cut. We could do this, but we're not going to be able to fit all of the rice in now. Let's reset. Okay, so rethinking our plan. So we are going to need them down there. I don't see how we're going to do this if we don't make a cut just below these green bundles. Oh, but this is what I did last time. Because also in order to get these 2 at the bottom, we're going to have to slice across like this. I guess, no, we'll do it like that. And then we need to make 1 more slice to disconnect that. This is what I did last time though, isn't it? Because then they need to come off. And then we either slice here or up here. And in either case we can't fit them in. Okay, reset, and I'm gonna try not to do the exact same thing again. But we do need this at the bottom. We do need this one at the bottom. same cut again for the third time. So let me think about it a bit more. Okay, so if that's gonna go down like that, we'll need to cut just here. However, if we're slicing this middle bit, we could potentially do this last and line something up next to it. So it would make sense for our first cut to be against something with too wide. I'm not entirely sure why I did a cut there. Oh, is this it? Have I stumbled upon it? No, of course not. I've just made some. They're quite nice and symmetrical, the cuts, but they are completely useless. Okay, back to square one. What have we got going for us? So we need that to be at the bottom, but then we can make two cuts there. So if we cut like that, and then we cut like this, and then like this. Is this helpful? There we go. Okay. We did that one. Wasn't so much logic though, I just kind of vibed my way through. Okay. Oh, cute. Now we have two little shrimp. And they're either winking, or they've got like swirly, confused eyes. We actually have two lines to work with now. But we have one cut, so I guess these are gonna cut at the same time, depending on where we put them. Perfect. So just a simple level there to teach us a new mechanic, which I appreciate. And now we need to cut this middle square out of this bigger square. And we have two cuts to make each time. So that's quite satisfying. We can just carve out the middle like that. What have we got now? Oh, look, this is definitely a kiwi. So I'm leaning more towards this ingredient being a strawberry, but it does have an odd shape. Maybe it's grown in a certain way to be in the shape of a flower when you cut it. Anyway, we actually just need to swap these two positions. We have two cuts to make and two slices each time, so we can like carve out the two corners and then swap them over. Perfect. Okay, now we have a little chunk of what looks like salmon. And we have two cuts to make, two slices each time. And we need to get this salmon in the middle. What if we did something like this? So we isolate this salmon and the middle square, there we go. And then we can just swap them over. Perfect. It's really satisfying to be able to make multiple cuts at once. I am expecting that at some point we might even go to like 3 slices. Anyway, now we have, it looks like a pile of small yellow sticks with I don't know, some kind of like seasoning on top. It kind of looks like mango. Maybe they're peppers though. Anyway, we need to get this square in the middle. So again, we're gonna have to isolate this middle square, and then we can just rearrange things nice and easy. There we go. Well, now we definitely have, we've got a chili pepper. A tiny chili pepper on a bit of rice. We need to fit this rice in the corner. We're actually going to be removing the chili pepper. This chili is not making it into the final box, so we need to leave that ingredient out, which is a nice twist. Okay, I like these easily recognizable ingredients. We have some tiny mushrooms. We have some mushrooms for this one. So we have one cut to make. How are we gonna fit this in? We need to get these mushrooms to be next to each other. We get a square, one mushroom down there. This should work. We do a square. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. What's up next? Nice. We have 3 little shrimps now. But only 2 of them are making it into the box. So we actually just need to get this rice into some square shapes. Something like this should work. We just want one bit. No, we need to cut that off. Like this. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alright. Now we have 2 kiwis. And I don't know what this thing is. It's really small. Maybe like a small berry. Can't quite make that one out. Anyway, we're gonna need to get these kiwis onto the bottom. So we could slice like that, and then like that. Oh no, that won't work, because now this berry is on the right side of its 2-length stick. We need it to be on the left. So we could cut a square out. And then no, we're gonna have to rethink this one. So that would need to be the only way unless we somehow isolate this little berry, we're gonna have to make it cut like this, so that it could somehow fit on the top. Then we have another cut there. This one's messy. It's definitely not this. So we do that. Okay, so we're gonna have to cut like that for the kiwi. We could. Okay, what if we cut the kiwi into a square and then maybe line it up? Maybe line it up with something. No, it's not this either. That's not gonna work. Let's redo. Okay. Think about this one. Right. So we got like that. Somehow. This is what we did last time, so it's not that. Okay, what if we did like this? And then we could cut both of these bits with a vertical slice. No, that's not right, because we're gonna need to cut that off so it fits there. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. We need that to be up there. Let's redo. So I could do one cut in the middle. I feel like we want to separate something with our first cut, so that we can line line something up the second time. How about this? Oh, I think this is it. I think we found it. Nice, there we go. Perfect. Got an achievement called Ouchies. Chop 100 times. Okay. Now we've got it's in a swirl shape. It's in a swirl shape and it is orangey yellow. Apart from that, I have no guesses. It looks like a tiny, like a cinnamon roll. What have we got here? We need to get them. We have 2 slices, 2 high each time. And we actually need to get this. One of these yellow rolls is on a long vertical bit of rice, and we're gonna have to slice it completely. So if we overlap it cleverly, we can do that. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go to the next one. Okay, we have. I think I know what this is. I think it's called natto. I think it's like fermented soybeans. I've seen some people have these, and they're like covered in like a goop that I guess develops during the fermentation process. And so when you take like a spoonful, or you take a bit with some chopsticks, it's super stringy. Apparently has a very strong flavor and maybe an odd texture that is not for everyone. I'd be down to try them though. Anyway, we need to fit them into this shape. And I think we can do something similar to last time, but we're gonna have to think about it carefully so that we don't block ourselves off. Like I just have. I think I was about to do it right. Yeah, like this. There we go. Perfect. Put that in. Perfect. Okay. We have, it looks like a pile of green beans. Potentially edamame. We need to fit them into this box here though. So one cut here makes sense to start with. Although we might be able to line things up a bit better. We only have 2 cuts this time, so we could fit one like this. And then put that one here. Slice that. That's not gonna fit there. We're gonna have to slice off something here, but there's not enough to slice. Let's redo this. Okay. So if we cut that off like that, then we're not gonna get a green bean pile in the right place. I feel like I might need to line things up again. But I'm not sure in what position. So we have to end up with one of our green beans being in the right place to go in the top right. And that could be either of them. Although it makes some sense for it to be this pile on this big block, I guess. Oh, I did that last time. Because we could slice like that. And then we need a square of 2 and a single green bean pile. myself in the right way. Okay, let's revisit. Could I double up a cut in any way to help? So we could slice off that to get 1 or 2. That. I don't think this is helpful. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What if we did like one middle one here? Then one down here. Boop. There we go. There we go. Again, I didn't really think that one through, but I made some nice symmetrical slices that felt good at the time. Let's see if we can do another one. Let's see if we can do another one. And I genuinely have no clue what this is. Couldn't even hazard a guess. It's just like a square of green with maybe some like sesame seeds on top. I don't know what this is. But we need to fit it inside of this puzzle. Oh, and we don't have any cuts to make. So it's a straightforward organizational one. And I think that is a good place to leave it for today. I am about out of time, but I could keep slicing these rice blocks and organizing our bento boxes for hours. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. I thought this game was super cute, really cozy, and it did have some puzzles that were kind of tricky, but didn't take hours, which I appreciate. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you come back soon for another one. Thank you again, and good night. Good night.